right, welcome to the Insurance Stream. I'm your host, Dave Bowling, here today with Shane Brown from Commission Tracker. Excited. This is part 2 of our How to Simplify Your Agency's Accounting. And to me, actually, yesterday we talked to ePay Policy because they process, they reconcile your trust account. They use data to do it, so you're not manually doing all that stuff. So this is the other side, right? So we get the money in, we got to figure out where it comes from, and make sure it's recorded properly for our accounting records. But then when the money goes out the other side, when we're paying our agents, and things like that, or even tracking money that comes in on what we're supposed to have compared to what we actually have, that's where Commission Tracker comes into play. So Shane, thank you so much for joining us today. Appreciate the time. And I'm excited to hear, kind of the backstory on how this thing came to be, because you guys are a really unique software. I know our Fast Track Appointment program sponsored today's show. Shout out to them. And actually, they're getting ready to roll out a new commercial program. So that's going to be super exciting. So go over to ftap.insure and check it out. But the Fast Track Appointment program utilizes Shane's software to pay all the agents that are on the program. And so, we were looking for a software to do this for quite a while until we found you guys. And I mean, we've found, do you have competition, Shane? I mean, how does this work? Are you the Lone Ranger out on the prairie?
Well, as you know, Abe, and thank you for having me here today. We have been doing it for over 25 years. So definitely got the most experience, the most longevity of any other company out there. You see some companies that start out, they have a great CRM tool specifically for insurance. And Salesforce is a great sales tool. I know a lot of agencies use that. And a lot of times the commission tracking is just sort of, put as an afterthought onto those type of enterprise-wide systems. And I can tell you from doing this for 25 years, you've got to constantly be changing with the industry and with your customers' needs. There's a lot. I mean, we're tracking commissions, not just coming into the agency, but like you said, going out and paying your agents as well. So no, we've been doing it for a long time, and it's all we focus on. I mean, what makes us unique to me is that our software is specifically just for the insurance industry, number one. And number two, we're designed to complement that CRM or sales tool that you already have. We're not trying to replace it.
For sure. Well, and I know, there's no replacement of anything that, when we've integrated with you guys, there's been, no replacing anything else. It's just been an addition to make things more efficient, make things easier. Now, in a situation where, we're paying hundreds of agents a month, even an agency that's paying, 1, 2, 3 agents a month, this is a huge time saver, because basically the way that the process works, I'll put it in layman terms that I understand from somebody that doesn't actually do the process. So you can correct me if I'm wrong. So you grab the statement from the carrier, essentially you reformat it to, you just switch around some columns maybe, to import into Commission Tracker in the way that Commission Tracker understands it. And then, as long as the subcode of who wrote the policy, so which agent wrote the policy, is on the statement, then you upload it into Commission Tracker, and poof, just like that, it's all categorized according to the tables that you've set up on who to pay, how much commission to pay, different things like that. And then you guys export a document and send emails out to everybody that says here's monthly pay, right? Here's the commissions for this period. How do you guys have people that do this more than once a month?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
We have people that do it weekly, monthly. Okay. Some people actually do it quarterly.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. To each his own, right? I mean, yeah, right. I guess if you're getting salary throughout the year and then you get 4 big, huge bumps of commission, that wouldn't be a terrible life either, right? Right. So yeah, I mean, so you get the report, and then you can upload it to whatever software. Our program uses bill.com. I think it's Bill, not Bills. I think it's bill.com. We use bill.com to process all the payment. And, so we just take the Excel file from you, pop it in over there. And I mean, the whole process that used to take hours before we had this many agents, instead of, I mean, there's some time to set it up, right? I think we were talking yesterday, and you said, what was the comparison to take like hundreds of hours and water it down to like 10? Is that?
Yeah. I mean,
that's with a big group.
Oh, absolutely. And we have agencies that are independent agents just tracking commissions for themselves all the way to paying 500, 600 agents every month. So you're looking at, like I said, we were talking yesterday, you could send 200 emails out. Each of those emails has got a PDF version of an agent commission statement attached to it. And you can send 200 emails out and click of a button in less than 2 minutes.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, it's insanely fast. And it's so nice too. We were talking about this. It's like we have with the fast track appointment program, we've got like a referral bonus or referral commission, right? So if you send an agent to the fast track appointment program, you get an override on what they write indefinitely. And the nice thing is your software makes it completely automated to where like it's whenever that agent's assigned a commission, this other individual is assigned an override, and it just automatically happens without us having to do anything. Right. So it's, you were saying that a lot of like retail agencies are using that for like managers or, things like that. Is that true?
Sure. Uplines. So
yeah, right.
What we built in Commission Tracker is you can have unlimited number of splits. So if you need to pay more than one agent on a policy, you can do that. But also we built these uplines that are also as many levels as you need. Wow. So if you have 2 or 3 levels within your agency where everybody under that manager, is paying up to the manager a percentage, we can manage that as well. We set up these tables one time where you teach it based on the product type, based on as many, different factors that you can program to the system exactly how much each agent should receive and how much their upline should receive. That's all calculated. And then it creates these professional agent commission statements that are just automatically sent out via email from the software directly.
Got your logo on the top if you wanted, I'm assuming, stuff like that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, perfect. And then you said the new thing is agents now have a portal where they can log in and they can compare. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, so what we did was we said, hey, we've got all this information right there. But we were hearing from agencies, hey, we're getting these emails and these phone calls. Our back office is building all of these questions from our agents, where if we could just let them run the reports, let them run the filters, we wouldn't have to do this. Right. And so, okay, so we developed a web portal, take the load off of that agency back office. So now the agents can get their own reports. They can see they can actually see like bird's eye view. So they can see total number of clients, policies. They're able to track the growth of their own personal book of business. But they can also get revenue by any time frame, monthly, quarterly, weekly. They could look at all of last year if they wanted to. And, we got things in there to help show them like their earnings year to date, this year over last year. And we think the agents really appreciate that type of access where they can see, if they wanted to, they can run a report by product type and see which product is earning them the most commission.
Interesting.
So, and the setup on this is zero for the agency itself. So,
that's what we're talking about too. Like one of the best things, right? Your price point. I mean, because you've got these things that especially like for smaller agencies in growth mode, agencies struggling with this hard market. There's all these different factors in any business, but that are unique to insurance. The monthly cost of this, that's to me one of the best things for this whole talk about that.
Yeah. So to make it, because our software will work, like I said, for the small independent agency all the way up to like a guy who's got 500 agents he needs to pay, or maybe it's an MGA that needs to pay multiple agencies. So we decided the fairest way to price it is it's $67 per month for an admin license. So that gives you access to use our carrier statement reader to import those carrier statements, get that data in so you can run agency level reports and see how your agency is growing and where it needs to focus. But if you need to then pay agents on top of that, what we did was we priced it at $1 per agent per month. So
deal.
If you
I don't think there's anything else in insurance that costs $1 per agent per month.
Right.
Yeah.
And so to be clear, that gets you the ability to create those commission statements, email them out in batch, but also gives those agents access to their own personal agent web portal for $1 per month. So if you're just tracking commissions for yourself, you're a small independent agent, $67 per month. If you need to pay 500 agents, $567 per month.
Doesn't get much more fair than that. Okay, so we've talked about the payment of the agents, which to me is like the huge part, right? For our
Right. It's what you
our
use.
group. Yeah, I mean that's like, I mean, if we had staff doing what your software does for us, 5, 6, 7 people, maybe, probably. I mean, you probably know better
Right.
than me, but like I'm that's my guess. Is that a pretty accurate guess for our group size?
Yeah.
I mean, we'd have to have like 5 or 6, 7 people just processing payments and compiling commission statements, and then you've got the human
Sure.
error element, right? Where you're going to have to spend more time because you got people coming in and being like, "This wasn't on my statement," or "This wasn't." And it's like, hey, you know what? We don't
Right.
do this. It's a computer that does it. So like the computer's probably not wrong. So we check, and we never have things that are your software's error. That's for sure. I mean, maybe there's something we didn't get paid from the carrier yet, or there's something
Right.
they forgot to plug in their subcode or whatever. There's issues that can play out, but it's not your software's problem for sure. So we talked about that. Now tell me about the other side, because this is something that I didn't even think about, is that one of the original functions of Commission Tracker was to take data that, okay, this is what my agency has done, and this is what I should be getting paid on in the future. And then it says, oh, hey, by the way, here's a list of policies you didn't get paid on. You might want to check on this, or something like that. Is that a fair?
Yeah. Yeah, no, exactly. When we built the first version of this 25 years ago, the purpose was sort of to read a carrier statement and then analyze those statements and look for discrepancies. Look for maybe you didn't get paid as much as you expected to, or even more important, that you didn't get payment at all on a policy.
Right.
But we quickly realized what the most important part of what we had created was the carrier statement reader. And that really is the key to Commission Tracker software.
Yeah.
Our statement reader, we've spent years creating a reader that can analyze any carrier statement, and it pulls the policy and the commission information directly from it. And if there's any new policies on the statement, the software will automatically create those policies for you as well. Right. So what we've developed is, whether your statements are in Excel or PDF from the carrier, we've made that process as automated and efficient for the user as possible.
Sure. And you were telling me too, there's testimonials on your website of people that have gotten commissions that just weren't, they probably weren't going to get paid, period. I don't know. Like, again, you got the human element thing going on, like the company that's sending thousands of payments down the line is only as accurate as maybe the humans operating it, or the computer program that processes the information, right? So it's all subject to mistake. So You were saying that these agents, tell me more about that, because you said that they've gotten thousands of dollars. I mean, I don't know.
Thousands. Yeah, no, we have some reviews on our website where they're like, in the first 3 months of using Commission Tracker, I found $5,000 error where one of my carriers had not paid me for some policies. Now, like we talked about yesterday, you've got an expiration period. You got a window of like a year, usually, with a carrier to go ahead and file that claim. And if you're not catching it in time, using something to help you catch it in time, then that's lost money. But it's not just the discrepancies. What we saw was we're all of a sudden we've built this powerful carrier statement reader that can import your statements for you, and quickly realized, hey, we've collected a lot of important information here that could be used to create some very powerful agency reports, so the owner can see what's going on. Mm-hmm. So we started creating this library of reports. For example, like a book of business report, where you can actually see how much your agency is worth. And we have various revenue reports. So you can look and see like which carrier is the most profitable for my agency. Maybe you want to run it by product type. Is there a particular product type that is, making my agency more money than others? Basically, so that you don't have to guess. You know exactly where to focus your attention at in your agency. The old question is 99% of your effort earning you 1% of your revenue. Mm-hmm. And we can help you answer that. We have annualized reports that can show your growth of the agency over time. All these reports are going to help you maximize your agency to its full potential. And if you ever do decide to sell your agency, you've got these detailed financial reports to show you exactly to a potential buyer, hey, this is, these carriers made this much revenue for us last year, the prior year. These particular products are where we really make our money. And this is information that's all in those carrier statements,
Mm.
right? But you have to pull all that data off there, get it into a database, and then let the reports analyze it and spit out the results to you.
Sure. Well, and as somebody that's because I've gone through an acquisition, and then I've worked with various acquisition companies on various different projects and things like that. I could tell you that data is, I mean, it speeds up your process of selling your agency by months. Because they do like audits and stuff even after they've made an offer. They bring in like a financial auditing firm, and they go through all this stuff. And the more data you have that like zeroes it in and nails it down, like the better off you are in an acquisition when you do eventually go to sell your agency. So no, that's awesome. So we've gone over the reports, we've gone over which I think it's so funny because yesterday when we were talking, you said that you were at a trade show and one of the carriers walked up. And, I mean, and sometimes carrier reps are known for their friendliness, right? No, I'm just kidding. But one of the carriers walked up and said, "There's no reason for you to exist, because it's like they're we already handled that and we're perfect." Like,
it was
okay,
probably the hardest rejection I've gotten in my life from anyone. Probably the hardest rejection I've ever received in my life from anyone, hands down.
Yeah, the hardest rejection that I've ever received is when I first started off in insurance. I was in my 20s and I was making some cold calls, and like I developed this strategy to like kind of sneak around a secretary or receptionist or whatever, and it worked, right? So this guy was really mad that I had basically like kind of hoodwinked his gatekeeper or whatever. And what he told me, I cannot say on the air. I don't know. That was, and I was like, just stunned. I was like, I wouldn't do business with you if you came to me. Like,
right.
That was, and I still remember the name of the company. And out of respect for all the employees there, I won't say the name of the company on the air, but it was a plumbing contractor. And yeah, so those things stick with you, right? When somebody said, and you're like, wow, like I hope your life continues to be miserable. You know that? No,
it did. Yeah, like you said, we were at a meet and greet at a Las Vegas insurance conference, and they were just mingling, and they saw my name tag, and you're with Commission Tracker. Oh yeah, we heard of you. There's no reason for you to exist. Our carrier statements are perfect.
Cost we don't make thousands mistakes. Of dollars.
And because of you, agencies are calling us and filing claims.
Right. Well, and you wonder, like, is that the reason? So to me, there's only one of two reasons. Either one, they were mad at you because you caused them to actually have to work, or two, they didn't understand like the ins and outs of the system. Because, like, honestly, I can say that our group we would not really be profitable at all if we had to manually sort all these things that came. Like, I mean, the carriers give us the reports, right? So that's great. We need them. They're obligated by law to provide them. But, the data collection and sorting that happens from that point to everybody's got their money in the bank account, we can close out this month's books.
Right.
You would have to employ so many people to do it manually that we would not be able to function. So I can say that's categorically wrong. But certainly I think the agents that are listening here will find that too. Is there anything that we've missed? Because like I said, we talked about the reports, the commission payments. We've talked about, the ability to capture lost or missing revenue. What else? Is there anything else that you think an agency owner should know that might help in their decision of reaching out?
For sure. So, like we've started off, we've always been and will always continue to be a computer software company.
Sure.
But about 8 years ago, we had this. It was an idea that came from our customers. They said, "Hey, you know what? Is there a way that I could have you guys process my commissions for me instead of learning your software?" And I thought, "Hey, this is an idea. Let's try it, see how it goes." So, fast forward, it's turned into a completely new department within our company. And it's been very successful. So if you're an insurance agency and you don't want to spend the time learning the software, I know we were always learning new software. It's always like, okay, stare at the screen. What do I do first?
Yeah,
I've been there. And you don't want to hire somebody new or train somebody that in-house to learn the software and process your commissions. We have a full service commission processing department. So you simply send over your carrier statements to us. and we will get them imported into the software, run any reports, email those over to you, and send out all of your agent commission statements directly to all of your agents. And as well, they'll have access to the portal. So your agents can do that.
Perfect.
We do all outsource.
You could truly outsource it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And if you're a small agency, small agencies on average are $150, $200 a month for this service.
That's a no-brainer. That is such a no-brainer. I mean, you can call and sell like a, really tiny commercial policy in that time frame and pay for that service. So you don't even, I mean, that's completely no-brainer. Well, perfect. How do people get a hold of you, Shane?
So our website is commission-tracker.com. That's the best way to find us and get all the information, set up a demo. All our pricing is on there, and get a hold of us and check it out.
Perfect. We've used these guys for over a year. I think it's probably close to
going on 2 years.
now.
Yeah.
Going on 2 years. Okay. Yeah. So we've used them. They are ABE certified, ABE endorsed, the insurance rate endorsed. We appreciate you coming on, Shane. Go over, check them out, commission-tracker.com, and tell them the Insurance Stream sent you. We appreciate your time, Shane. And we look forward to having you back in some other capacity. Talk about accounting or software or something like that, because it's
absolutely,
it's a really, it's going to be the future of insurance. It has to be. I mean, the agency automation space, I think, is ripe for growing, and it is growing. So we appreciate you coming by.
Thanks for having me.